Africa. We have a lot to offer you. Strength mostly, vision, and a lust for true freedom inherited from our closest ancestors, the American slaves. Fulfilling their dreams that my other ancestors tried to beat out of their bodies but failed to out of their hearts and minds, to go back home and copy. Today is the 3rd, so I'm going to get my next COVID shot, my third booster shot rather, on the 9th. I am at the Dallas County Health Department. I just got my shots that I need for my trip, what they recommended. I didn't have to get, I already had yellow fever, so they said I was still good on that. There was only one per lifetime that the CDC recommends. So I just got my 3rd shot of hepatitis B. I got my 2nd shot of A. And then I got a typhoid fever booster because they said that typhoid fever is only good for 5 years. So I told you guys before, guys and gals, the last time I've been was in 2009, 2010. So it's very important to make sure that you have all of your vaccinations. I've also decided, I didn't get a flu shot, but I've also decided to go ahead and get a booster, a COVID booster. It's raining. Just to be safe. I got my 2nd COVID shot in April, so it's been 6 months, and they do recommend it for people that are immune compromised or have other issues. And me traveling, or where you might think that you might be in a situation to where you might have extra exposure. So I am going to get a 3rd shot. I made an appointment to get that. Today's the 3rd. So she said that, I asked her, did they recommend, you wait, between these shots and the COVID. She said there was no recommended wait time for COVID to my 2nd A and my 3rd B and then typhoid. So I think the 9th would be okay. 6 days, almost a week before. I just feel like it's better to be safe than sorry. I don't have all of the worrisome problems about the COVID shot, vaccines. I'm not into that. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I think I mentioned before that I had COVID. Actually, I stayed in the house and didn't eat out, wouldn't even get carry out for almost a whole year. And the first time that I went out after Texas had reopened, I went to a restaurant. Texas was fully open. I went to a restaurant with a friend for my birthday. We both wore masks in the car. We just removed our masks to eat and drink. We sat close to the door at the restaurant, and I caught COVID like the very first time that I went out anywhere, and I was like strict with it. A lot of my friends were like, Diana, you're going overboard about this COVID thing and not going out and da 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 da. But I had a lot of other stuff going on at the time with my son, my youngest son. So, and then I was, work from home anyway, and I was usually at home. So it really wasn't that hard for me to like completely pretty much stay in, besides going to the grocery store and checking my mail, at the P.O. box. But I just don't have all of those scary thoughts and ideas about the COVID vaccine, about vaccines, period. I really believe that as with manifesting and creating, I believe that human beings, we can create and manifest, what we need and want here in life, and so that's another part of manifesting is, and trying to create, and trying to get, the part of us in us, the God and goddesses in us, to create safety, to create, health, wealth, so I just don't feel like, there's good and bad to everything, and there's supposed to be good and bad to everything. Everything can't be 100% good. Everything can't be 100% bad. Like, a couple of the gurus or mystics say, you need to try to balance things, so yeah, there is good and bad to everything, but I choose to keep my mind on the good, so I don't feel like I'm going to have any issues. I might, get a little fever or something for a day or some body aches, and, then I'm protected, and let's keep it moving. So I'm in the middle of figuring out how to do this vaccine passport QR code on my phone. Like, what app should you use? And it's very confusing, especially because the United States right now doesn't really have like a recommended app to track those type of things. People in the US, are against, the government tracking, which is understandable. I just feel like if they could see a name written on a golf ball from a satellite from outer space, I mean, come on now. They can find you. They can track you. We carry around these phones. In my opinion, I don't do anything wrong or against the law, so they not trying to find me anyway. So so people that feel, I have some people that are like friends that, oh, they gonna track you, they putting a tracker in you. I'm like, what they tracking you for? What are you doing? Who are you? You're not like Elon Musk, like some billionaire or trillionaire that they really trying to see how you moving. You don't think that some person in the hood, they can't find you. Like, come on now. So I just don't prescribe to all of those conspiracy theories personally. So that's, my mind is not on that. So I'm getting close to my trip. I leave on the 13th. There's so much going on. I still haven't finished cleaning and stuff. Well, I finished, but getting my rooms together for Airbnb to rent those out. So I'm headed home to do that. I've started shopping, try to get, a couple little outfits together for my trip. I've been researching some things. I decided to do the gorilla tour while I'm in Rwanda at I think it's called the Biscante like huts or something. So I've been looking into that. I'm definitely going to do that probably for like 2 or 3 days. It's kind of expensive, but it's a once in a lifetime type of thing. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and do that. The Bitcoin haven't jumped off yet. I try not to be negative about what I didn't do. I did not buy it. Like, I posted on the backstory, oh, I'm ready to get my Bitcoin, I would have had probably 20,000, 20-some thousand by now. I've only made like, I think 8 or 9, so all I can do is wait. They're saying that it's going to go up to, my son is calling. They're saying it's going to go up to, between 75 and 100,000 November, December. So I'm hanging on. I made $1,000 this week. I've been down to like not even $1,000 every week, so, but everything's under control. I got all the money I need and want before I need and want it, in cash mostly. Some of it 7-day liquidity or less, 0 debt, in abundance, overflowing for eternity, so that's what I'm manifesting. I got everything I need. Some of the shopping, the outfits or whatever, it's not necessarily necessary, but everybody wants something, 1 or 2 nice outfits. I'm really getting things for my 3 days in Dubai because I want to look really nice, for my friends that I'm visiting, and more upscale because I've heard that Dubai is like very upscale. So I did kind of splurge on I'm only going to be there 3 days, so I've been kind of splurging on some things for that. And then I need, my stuff, tourism stuff for the Egypt trip. I want to be appropriate for that. And then now that I've thrown in the gorilla tour, they're recommending like a light raincoat, some garden gloves. Already got some hunter boots. They're kind of old. I'm thinking I'm just going to take those with me. Then I grabbed like some short ones, some Sperry's rubber duck boots that were on clearance at the outlet. So just getting everything ready. It's kind of crunch time. I had hired an attorney last year or so concerning my dad, because he's kind of having dementia in and out, to where I need to kind of take over guardianship, because he's not, that's really personal. He's not all the way there. So his sisters that live in the city with him, they're not communicating with me, about my dad. It's just a whole history of, I don't necessarily want to say jealousy and envy, but just a whole history of them not accepting me. I think maybe more so because I'm biracial. Maybe that's, what it is. I would think. I really don't even know why. It's a lot. But at this point, they're there with my dad. I've begged them to help me with him for years. I've seen him deteriorating, and they just, they don't want to communicate with me. So I really don't know why. So I hired an attorney last year. So I don't know why the universe. I've been trying to get a hearing with my dad since last year, of August of 2020, over a year. So I get an email last week that the hearing, we're going to have a Zoom hearing on November the 12th, the day before I leave the country. So, what is, how did that come about? Right the day before I leave. So I'm like, okay, I hope I'm not crying all the way to Dubai on the flight, because it's very emotional. Just knowing that my dad is deteriorating like that is very emotional, that he's against me helping him. It's very emotional, the way that my aunts that, and family that live in the city with him, the way they treat me, they don't, it's so emotional, but I don't know why the universe made that appointment the day before I leave, but I'm not going to let it detour me, from my trip. If an emergency happens, well, that's why I have an attorney. If I have to go to Indianapolis or whatever, that's just what I got to do. I might have to, leave early or come back and go back or whatever, but I'm not letting anything detour this trip from me. I have been writing down some ideas, about what I want to build, my businesses and all of that, exactly what I want to do, the nonprofit. So I'm moving forward. I'm going to go ahead and register my business, CBI, commercial business integrated, this week before I leave, get that formation going. I'll work on the 501(c)(3), maybe on the plane. I need to get that paperwork filed. I'm going to go ahead and file trademark. It's a few trademarks I need to file. So a couple DBAs I need to file. I'm going to do everything under one umbrella. So I just have a lot going on. A lot, and that's, I'm just going to let my attorney handle everything, with my dad. If I get guardianship, great. If not, at least, whatever quality of life that he's living, I know that I try to have him live out the rest of his life in dignity and a better quality of life. That's all I have to say about that. My family, I was telling a friend of mine the other day, it's like my whole family's like estranged from me, but is it me? Is it them? Let's not pass blame around. I was thinking like maybe it's just the universe. It's just meant for me to have these ties cut, so that I can move on, to the things that I'm manifesting, so I'm not going to be emotional about that, get myself under control. Things are just meant to be. I'm sure that once, my family starts watching the backstory Africa, CBI on YouTube, that, just like they do, they'll start reaching out to me if they feel like it. If not, I know that the universe is going to bring me more people that are like family, people that I can help, that appreciate it, So that's all I got to say today. I got to focus on driving. I'm going to do Turo this week. I finally got my windshield fixed. The guy came out and fixed it. He did a great job. So that is going to be my income coming in. Turo, the Airbnb. Let's just see how that works out. That's all I could do is put it out there on the internet and, sit back and wait for the income to come in. I ordered my cameras. I've been ordering a lot of stuff. But taking care of business today, getting my shots, that's most important. I've been looking into what kind of plugs I need, for each different country. So I'm going to make that purchase today. They had like a multi-plug kit at Best Buy. So I believe I'm going to stop and get that on my way home. And just getting everything. I decided to put a tree up, at least some little Christmas stuff up for the Airbnb people. And that's about it for today. I will check back in with you guys when I get home, maybe do some videoing from my office in my house, and just to give you guys a sense of how I live, so that when I'm in Africa, you can kind of gauge how I live at home, and then how I am living or getting together how I'm going to live over there. So you can kind of gauge what my taste is, what my level of comfort is, and just give you a better sense of the type of person that I am. So thumbs up, you touch it, you touch that little thumb on there, and subscribe to my channel and share. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you.